I hate driving. The happiest day of my life was the day I got rid of my car. Once I signed the lease for an apartment in a walkable city, that persistent mechanical headache was out of my life for good. After letting out the biggest sigh of relief I'd ever felt, I deleted every dating app on my phone. Because what could I get from them? Nothing could possibly match the immense satisfaction I felt knowing I no longer had to drive. So when I saw Mechanic Shop Femme's Guide to Car Ownership, I thought, this is it. This is the one thing that could red pill me on cars. Fat chicks have already sold me on the body positivity movement, advocating for cushier airline seats and Melissa McCarthy movies. If anyone can convince me that cars are cool, it's you, 𝓠𝓾𝓮𝓮𝓻, the Mechanic Shop Femme. And since I learned from the best, I know I could convince everyone here that Magic Mind is the best mental performance shot around. It gives me a focused, calm energy with a time-release caffeine and 12 carefully selected active ingredients, so I can lock into an active flow state, and at night, I take the sleep shot so I can go to sleep easy and I wake up feeling fantastic. Mental wealth is all about investing in yourself and building good habits in your sleep, diet, exercise, stress management, and environment. And you can invest in yourself no matter where you are in your personal wellness journey, even if you're living in a total bummer of a town that's nothing but stroads. Don't let that drag you down. It's the new year, so now's the best time to readjust and shake off those bad habits. Magic Mind is what I'll be using to stay on track, and I want you to try it too. For the first time, they're offering the 24-hour bundle, Magic Mind Focus and Magic Mind Sleep. You can get 45% off with my affiliate link at magicmind.com/taperjan. That's TAPIRJAN. Link is going to be in the description and pinned comment. Thank you, Magic Mind, for sponsoring this video. You guys rock. Now, onto the review. So if you were just looking for me dunking on this book for being written by an out-of-touch feminist, you will not find that with Mechanic Shop Femme. I sincerely enjoyed this book and think Kaya is very cool. But I want to let this book speak for itself before I dig into why it was such a solid read. So the official description reads, a comprehensive guide to car ownership and maintenance intended for anyone, regardless of age, gender, and experience. Books about cars are usually geared towards limited male readers, car enthusiasts, or mechanics. Mechanic Shop Femme's Guide to Car Ownership and Maintenance is different. In a country where women and members of the LGBTQ+ community are disproportionately impacted by economic injustices, car ownership is often the key to lift marginalized individuals out of poverty. 𝓠𝓾𝓮𝓮𝓻 is a queer woman herself who is familiar with both the importance and the limitations of the male-dominated industry. For example, Kaya understands that a vehicle is an economic necessity, which can provide access to career opportunities, economic security, and physical safety. She also understands that women and LGBTQ+ individuals may find it daunting to visit mechanic shops which are run entirely by men. In Mechanic Shop Femme's Guide to Car Ownership and Maintenance, Kaya appeals to readers of all identities and socioeconomic backgrounds, arming them with the necessary knowledge to navigate the intimidating automotive space. At its core, this book is an accessible and comprehensive guide that will put readers at ease by providing them with basic knowledge about car ownership and maintenance. From budgeting to negotiating to inspection, Kaya encourages her audience to make their own informed decisions regarding their vehicles. Mechanic Shop Femme's Guide to Car Ownership and Maintenance is a must-have purchase, one that will last readers through a lifetime of car ownership. End quote. This book 100% delivers what it promises, and just based on that description, you will know if you need this book or not. The most valuable parts of this book were the ones dealing with the social aspects of car ownership. This advice is what works for a fat, openly queer woman who's made a career in cars, so it'll work for the rest of us. For example, there's one part where she's like, if you're looking to buy or sell a car, don't use online car retailers like Carvana. And she's like, take it from me. I've gotten the stink eye from plenty of car dealers. Even if you're uncomfortable in car dealerships, it is not worth the financial hit to use Carvana. And I was gritting my teeth like, you're right. I always thought if I needed another car, I'd just use an online service and skip all of the dealership foreplay. Kaya's got way more of a reason to use these services, and even she's yelling as loud as she can and saying they're a bad idea. All right, note taken, I'll stay away. The best part of this book is when she shares how to find a good mechanic. If you only read one chapter of this book, please let it be Chapter 5, How to Find a Good Mechanic. She explains why mechanics have such a bad reputation, why going to a mechanic can be intimidating, but she reassures the audience that it doesn't have to be a bad experience and gives insight on how to make the most out of visiting a mechanic, how to get out of a dicey situation with a mechanic, and how to get off on the right foot and find a good mechanic. She says step 1 is looking around local sites like Nextdoor for a mechanic, and from there, she recommends dating different mechanics and bringing your car to different spots for checkups. Whichever one treats you the best is the one you should go steady with. Kaya also shares that most quick oil changes aren't the best place to bring your car, but if you're looking to get into the auto repair industry, this is a good entry-level job, which is a very cool, very nuanced take. Also agreed. Everyone I know who's worked at one of those quick oil places is a total scumbag. What's nice is this book doesn't go too heavy on the personal anecdotes or going too off topic. She delivers her information with a good deal of clarity and confidence. Even if your only marginalization point is subscribing to r/fuckcars, you will still be able to take in this information. It really is a book for everyone. And I'll be real, I am still not sold on cars. I still think car culture is cringe, but this book leveled up my understanding. I would love if 𝓠𝓮𝓮𝓻 next book was a memoir on why she fell in love with cars. In the intro, she shares a little bit about her backstory. She was in foster care and getting a car helped her escape poverty. This book is made much stronger by abridging the backstory and quarantining it to the intro. But I really do want to hear more about the emotional side for why she loves cars. The little bit of her backstory she shared was genuinely interesting. I would never imagine someone like 𝓠𝓮𝓮𝓻 if I was asked to describe a car guy. And if I was asked to specifically imagine a girl into cars, I would describe the love interest in a Michael Bay movie who has no problem fixing a car because she grew up with 10 older brothers. Now, you won't find a lot of digs at men in this book. The pervasive attitude in Mechanic Shop Femme is that car culture is a predominantly male-first environment, and the fact that it's such a boys' club can be a huge barrier. I don't think that's too controversial of an opinion, even amongst us daintiest of lefties. And although there's a few anecdotes about men being flatly in the wrong and acknowledging why a marginalized person would feel uncomfortable in unfamiliar, male-dominated social space, 𝓠𝓮𝓮𝓻 is never one to shame men for their male interests. That distinction is very important to me. I'm interested in feminist perspectives, but feminist perspectives that bitterly center themselves around men just aren't interesting. Exceptions certainly apply, but look, I want girl books to talk about chick shit. Okay, I'll stop being so coy and just say it because this honestly is not a problem. There is legitimately only one book I am thinking about when I am talking about feminist life advice books that won't shut up about men, and that is Tori Dunlap's Financial Feminist, Overcoming the Patriarchy's Bullshit to Master Your Money and Build a Life You Love. And wow, was that book terrible. I don't think I could properly review that one because woof, did it thoroughly piss me off. What's more, I am on board with the concept. The most I had heard about chicks getting the short stick in finances was about the wage gap and the pink tax, so I was intrigued, like, oh, there's more? Just how deep does this patriarchy malarkey go? Please, girl boss, enlighten me. So between some okay-ish financial advice and the author gloating about her own wealth, that book is very much the white feminist perspective of dunking on the heckin' evil cisgendered men at every turn. And although I do have a fragile male ego, I also have enough goddamn sense to know that when someone says men are the worst, they mean the systems of patriarchy that lets men get away with being real stinkers. They don't mean me, personally, because I am a delight. But in this case, I'm not the one raising your rent, Tori. Would you chill out with the cis men hate? I get the sense that Tori is of the opinion that we need more lady billionaires. It's not to abolish the concept of a billionaire, and the overall tone is very condescending and infantilizing to women, and it talks a lot about how women make very emotional financial decisions to the point where it's like, I think you're trying to be sympathetic, but if you read this book with a Rodney Dangerfield voice, it would feel like a hack comedian going on about how women be shopping. This book was so frustrating. I don't recommend you go anywhere near it. And I was expecting Mechanic Shop Femme to be Financial Feminist 2.0, and mercifully, it was not. The closest Mechanic Shop Femme gets to this mindset is when it shares an anecdote about Everyman Toby's story of when a mechanic was acting like a real creep towards them, offering free auto service in exchange for dates. And Toby caps off this anecdote with, "Cishet men are the worst." Now, I know I risk sounding like a victim blamer, but tapirs are the slowest animal in the rainforest, so this story confused me. If a man hits on a Toby, that interaction is not heterosexual, so what DLC patch for the queer community did I miss out on? Is Toby a girl name now, or did everyone collectively upgrade their bisexual erasure? Either way, that smidge of a paragraph is the only noggin scratcher and the most overt man-hate we get in this book, which was nice. Mechanic Shop Femme is more focused on how marginalized people can better navigate this world. If 𝓠𝓮𝓮𝓻 has any thoughts on how to reform car culture, it is completely left out of this book, which would be another subject in itself. There's never a rallying cry to yoink men out of the mechanic shops and dealerships, even if some stink up the place and ruin it for everyone. If we did that, then where would Megan Fox's 10 older brothers go? Can somebody please think of the 10 older brothers? Now, since I did read a pro-car book, as a palate cleanser, I put a library hold on every anti-car book in the system. Those will be coming in soon, but while I wait, I could give glowing praises to Paved Paradise, How Parking Explains the World. The summary is that because Americans expect parking to be free, our society has crumbled from there. It's a book that really spoke my language as someone with big-time car derangement syndrome, and I am using the most unflattering terms on myself because I don't know how to talk about this subject without sounding actually insane. There's people who are very polite and reasonable and can make a good case for walkable cities. Not me. If you let me riff on the subject for too long, I will drag down the collective image of the urban planning movement, and it will be completely justified when I am mowed down with an SUV. But hopefully we can all put our heads together and advocate for better public transit and walkable cities. And step one of that big complex process is boosting our focus and energy with Magic Mind. We're not going to win the war on cards alone. We got to keep a little pep in our step while we're petitioning for a better bus schedule. For the first time, Magic Mind is offering the 24-hour bundle, Magic Mind Focus and Magic Mind Sleep. You could get 45% off with my affiliate link at magicmind.com/taperjan. That's TAPIRJAN. Link is going to be in the description and pinned comment. Thank you, Magic Mind, for sponsoring this video. You guys rock.